It has been 15 months since I bought this van with the intention of turning it into a motorhome. I had minimal to no skills. I was coming off the back of a serious health issue and I was pretty broke, but I was determined to learn what I needed to make this happen. So I sold my Audi and a load of gold, and I spent endless hours researching, designing, project managing, planning, sourcing materials, stressing about finances, and then wondering if I'd actually enjoy living in a van after it was all done. But by tackling one thing at a time, I persevered until its completion, today. And if you've been following along, you will know that none of this would have been possible without the legend that is my dad, Nick. His engineering knowledge and a lifetime's experience fixing things has been invaluable to this project, and he has made this possible. I may have done the majority of the work throughout, but Dad is the one that brought it to life. And together we have made memories I will cherish forever. And a pretty cool house too. We've taken a bit of a break after Christmas because we needed it. Yeah. But now I have a deadline because I have a move-in date. This is very exciting. So we're back on it for another few weekends, getting the final touches done, and then I'm going to be off. One of the first jobs Pops is working on is adding these in for a flip-up countertop. So I've got a couple of hinges like this, which fold away. If you can push down on the top, Pops, demonstrate. So it folds away like that. So we're going to add on, we're going to add a couple of those on there. We've added a shelf by my bed already. That's just for my drink and my nighttime things, so I've got somewhere to put them. When I used it, the sharp corners of my table were bashing against the ply and marking it, so we've just taken the edges off and rounded those corners before Dad moved on to some wiring, attaching the strip lights underneath the kitchen cabinets. And we now have under the kitchen lights, perfect for cooking. And what Dad's also done is put a little switch here, and if I press that one, because this top bit was a bit dark, so he's also run a light at the back of there, so we can see the top of those two cupboards. This is on a separate switch, so you turn this one off first, then you turn the one on underneath, or turn that on, go to here where kitchen lights are, and if I turn it off, both of them go off, both of them come on. So several options, and yeah, once again, you've done a marvellous job, haven't you?
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. We have also had to add in a secondary safety mechanism for these drawers because when they're full, they were just too heavy and they kept flying around the corners and everything kept coming out. So we have added, I think we got 10 of these for £3 or something, really cheap, and they just twist. So you can open the drawer and then that closes it, so it just stops it coming out as I go around a corner. So they're all really linked on one. This is the one that's secure, so that holds the top one in. That then in turn holds the pantry in, which then holds the bottom cupboard and that left cupboard there. So that was a very quick job, but just something else that we needed to sort out. But the big one, so I went away in it just before Christmas and after Christmas, and it was freezing cold and it was windy and it was stormy. So the back doors, I haven't even finished painting them, haven't decided what I wanted to do with them. So what we're doing instead is we're going to add a curtain across the back. We've already tried one option. We created these and we got a pole to try attach the curtain to on the back of both the doors. However, the pole was nowhere near strong enough to hold the heavy material of the curtains. So what we've gone for instead, round two, is 2 of these and this metal pole from B&Q. I think it was like £13 or something, and these fixed on the end. So we'll have to attach one end of the pole in, attach that on the side of the van, and then we'll have to fit this one on the top and then push it in place and then attach that in with the curtain on it. But the first attempt didn't work, so we're gonna have to try something else. So this is the curtain. It's got a really thick insulated blackout liner on the back of it, which is why it's quite heavy. And we had this type of pole in it, which is a netting pole really, but it just wasn't strong enough, and you can see it's bowed and it's bent it all. So we'll try round 2 with the metal one, and hopefully that will hold it in place. And then what that will do is, first of all, cover the back door so I don't have to look at the ply that I've not decided what I'm doing with yet. And also it will just add an extra layer of insulation. And also still got a few bits of painting to finish off, and the bulkhead and everything like that, and the top cupboard thing there, and somewhere for my laptop to go, and da-da-da-da. It's only when I stayed in it that I realised what I actually needed. So these are the things, and I'm sure more will come as I move in and live in it. So we're just going to get a few bits finished off today, and hopefully that will make the transition from the house into the van smoother and easier for me. Oh, it's still funny. We're still trying to figure stuff out, even after a year and a bit of doing this. Right, so we got these for the side for the curtain rail. However, when I have tried to put them on, it is very, very not straight. So it would need to sit like that to get the pole straight. So we were then going to have to create some sort of wooden thing to sit behind it and blah, blah, blah. So I said, can we not just repurpose these? Because we've already made these and they fit. We just need to extend the hole, which is what I've done. I've just made the hole a bit bigger. So then they go up there, and it allows for the pole to still sit in flush, level, straight, whatever you want to call it, while these are still wonky on the walls. So what I'm doing is just creating bigger holes for these. So that's what it looked like for the other pole, and that is what it looks like for the new one. So using this fancy thing, this is for metal, but it works if you just go gentle on wood anyway. And I'm just going to make it bigger, and it's quite loose, so the pole it can go angled like that, and the pole can still go in straight. There we go. So there's 2. So we'll try this instead. And Dad has just finished. He's done this in like 20 minutes. He's added in the kitchen counter flip up top. Ha! Go on, show them. And back down. Just adds so much extra space. Yeah. It's fantastic. All right, going up. So van build being van build, it's not absolutely perfect across here. There's a bit, and it's a little bit raised there and a little bit down there, but it does the job. Looks great. Functionality sort of gives you twice as much space in the kitchen again, doesn't it? And yeah, dead chuffed with that. So another thing that will really improve the quality of living in here. Instantly noticed, they don't actually lock down, and that's going to rattle when I drive. So I've got this for various things around the van when they all go in, so nothing moves. So what Dad's just suggested is if we add a bit of Velcro on these things and then match the corresponding areas on this side, then when it comes down, it will sort of Velcro on and it'll stop the rattle, hopefully. So we're just going to do that quickly. Now that's done, we're going to move on to the pole at the back. And we have measured across. Think those new fixtures are going to work, which is really good. So we've measured across. We've got to do 61 inches, cut the pole off. So we've got to cut a bit of the end of the pole off. And then we'll try get it fitted across the back doors. Plastic off, ready to go in. Let's give it a try. So this now should fit in one of them, and then we'll have to attach the I might need to cut a bit, make that a bigger hole. Yeah.
Okay, well that's why we're trying it.
Yeah. New bit, bigger hole. Pops is attaching that one on. I have got the lovely curtain wrapped around me. It's quite warm. It's a very cold day today again. So new one, much bigger. Yeah. Tested it on the angle, it works. It took a few attempts to get this right, and it is probably the most van build looking thing in my van. But either way, it still works, and we got the curtain up. Yeah. There we have it. That'll just help with the cold and the noise and the looking at horrible backdoor ply. Okay, couple of jobs done. Time for a food break and to try get warm because I can barely feel my fingers anymore. It's the next day. We've been to B&Q. Got a few more bits to finish off some more jobs. Let me show you what we've done. A hook on the bulkhead because I have nowhere to hang my coat. So that's there now. We'll test that one out, see how that one works when I'm in it. As you can hear, Pops is doing something else. We've just missed some very interesting positions of us both trying to squeeze in here and hold this, but we are fitting a metal pole, which is the same one that we put the curtain up with at the back. I had an idea in the middle of the night and said, hang on, why don't we put them in the bathroom? Because then that means that I can hang a towel over it. This is going to be my drying room anyway, because we've got a heating duct in it. So what I was going to do was after I'd done my washing, my clothes, for example, I was going to put them in there, shut the door, and then that would be the drying room with the vent open. But instead, now we've got the pole, I can just hang a thing on coat hangers and then hang them over the rail and then shut the door and they'll dry, and it's the same. So done that. That was a middle of the night idea. You've seen the countertop looking nice, but we've also been to get some skirting. Look at this. So a bit piece like that, just from B&Q. 9 by 9 mil. Piece cut for that side there. Piece cut for that side there. So we'll just silicone and hammer those in, nail those in somewhere. So I've done a couple of those bits. I've got to finish off around the shower and everything like that. It just finishes off nicely. I also bought rope, which I'm going to make my own Savannah cat scratching post, but I'm going to use the rope. I'm going to paint a blossom tree there, aren't I? I'm going to paint a blossom tree on the bulkhead, and the base of it is going to be the trunk, and I've got some rope and I'm going to put the rope on the trunk, and then hopefully that will be Savannah's scratch post. That's an idea anyway. Also got the rest of the paint for the bulkhead tree, so when I'm away for 10 days I'm going to start painting that, and that's super exciting. They look fantastic. That proper finishes it off. No more gaps. Looking nice. Mum's joined in on the fun and created me 2 cute little tie backs. So we've added some hooks for those to attach onto, and that keeps the curtains nice and neat and out the way. Adding in another little catch so it closes, and then I have another gorgeous mushroom handle for the top of this one. Oh, are you doing a new trick? Is that to spot where to put the screws?
Yeah.
Nice one. The reason why we've put the clip on this side is because this side was just a little bit bouncy, wasn't it, you noticed?
Yeah.
So Dad put the clip on there, as in, so now when it's shut, it's flush. Because, you know, things are on the wonk in a van, aren't they? So I've got a fair bit of painting to do again now. Starting with these. These are the pieces of ply to go around the front of the shower door to finish it off, make it nice and neat, and to hide the sliding shower door mechanism. I did 2 coats of undercoat and 1 coat of top coat of acrylic eggshell, and that gave a nice finish. While I was waiting for the paint to dry, I decided to tackle the final bit of exposed metal. Under the control panel and around the corner of the bulkhead needed carpeting and a final piece of ply adding to complete the look. I will be covering the untidy areas with foliage to make this look a bit better, but that is the last sign of any van in here. Up next was to cover the joins and corners in the kitchen unit. Once again, I'm just not happy with these being visible, so I'm going to add some bits of coving on, and I think it creates a really neat and professional looking finish. Which this part also needs. So some of the gaps to hide around the shower, but before we do that, we have to add those pieces of ply that I just painted. And these are to go around the front of the shower to cover up door and the shower tray that you can see there, and the support and everything. I just think it will look much neater being all boxed in and sort of hide the door as well in a way. Starting with the bottom piece, we used silicone where appropriate and then screwed the pieces into the wooden frame that surrounded the shower, making sure to seal any gaps as we go, before moving on to add the left piece, then the top piece, and then the right piece to finish. Which looked better already, but not great. The top and the corners are still quite messy. But it's covered everything nicely and it looks more professional now. And this only left some edging to do using an L-shaped piece of wood. We covered the corners to complete the finished look, before sealing the top with some silicone. Finally, we added the skirting board around the floor to cover the last little gaps. A few nails and it was in and looking great, resulting in this, the final shower cubicle. And that is the last job of the build. So this is the finished product. There are still homely touches required, like foliage around the front and the back doors. I'm going to paint a blossom tree on this and add some more colour, and a bit of a backsplash needed, but that's the building work finished. So I'm going to do those things in the next 10 days after I've moved in. And then once that's all done, I'm going to add like photos and artwork to the walls as well. So still some finishing off touches to do, but building work is officially finished. So we gave her a good clean using some new professional foam before we went away. I need to stock up with food and pack all my clothes, but then that's it. We're off. So stay tuned because adventures are loading. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.